You're listening to Spark TV, where we bring you daily interviews with real women in business at all stages. I'm your host, Danielle Lewis, and I am so grateful to have you here. So good, Dr. Jowie. Welcome to Spark TV. I'm so excited to have you here.
It's so good to be here. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while now. So thank you for having me.
Oh my God, of course. Same here. So let's start out by telling everyone who you are and what you do.
So my name is Dr. Jowie O. My full name is Josephine. A lot of my friends they just call me Dr. Joy. I am an academic. I used to work at a university as an academic researcher, but also behind that was a very strong passion for business. So I've always had my business brand running whilst I was working as an academic. But then recently I took the bold step to resign my academic position.
Congratulations.
And that is your reaction. I love
Yes.
that. Do you know what it is? I think a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, you did what? I was like, if you're going to take business seriously, it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to choose. But
Yeah.
my decision wasn't just tied to, academic, career distractions and work. It was also tied to being present for my family and the
I
fact
love that.
that work was taking me away from that. And when you have a deeper why, to build your legacy and build your career, it's an easy answer. So yeah, that's my story a little
I
bit.
love that so much. And I'm so glad you said that, because I think oftentimes we make decisions based on money, like, where's the business at from a money point of view? And, am I hitting all of the Instagram worthy milestones? But it's like, what is actually important to you? Why are you here? Why are you building a business? It's so critical to
Yeah.
know that.
And the ability to have that flexibility. I think COVID-19 taught us a lot of things in that your job can be taken away from you at any point in time. And if you're not building something for yourself at this stage, you're literally putting yourself in the hands at the mercy of someone else. And that's not a position I want to be when I have kids and I have a family and there's mouths to feed. It's beyond you now. You can't be living from hand to mouth or at the mercy of whether or not they're going to fire you this year, or if the budget includes you, or if the grant allows for your salary. You just have to get out there and build your own table. That's my stance.
Oh my God, I love it so much. And you are so right. And it's so exciting that we live in a time where we can do that,
Can
right?
do
Like,
it.
you
Mm-hmm.
can access stuff online that you need, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
that is
exciting.
incredible. So then tell me, now that you are in business, you have branched out for yourself, what services or what products do you deliver in that business?
So I own an African Nigerian, specifically Nigerian food catering business, where we have
Wow.
bespoke Nigerian authentic flavors. We have been running for a while, but like I said, like a side gig, side hustle, but we're in full force now. And we do a lot of fusion Nigerian meals as well as authentic Nigerian meals, just to kind of introduce the flavors into the Australian market and the palates. So it's not too overwhelming, so to speak. But yeah, that's one of my businesses. I have a few. There's another. I mean, now that I have the time, I might as well, right?
I love
I'm
it. No, this is so good.
I know. I love it. And I'm also rebranding my husband's media business into a one-stop shop, like a turnkey social media solution on visibility. I've been lucky to sign a few clients now that are thought leaders and excellence. They're doing great things in their space and in their bubble of expertise, but the world doesn't know about it. And I'm just like, let me help you. Let me put the word out there. I've been doing content creation for a while. I love it. It comes naturally. I know someone
Mm.
said to me, how do you come up with the topics you want to, film on? I was like, I have topics. The issue is time. But now I
Yeah.
have time and I still have topics, which is a perfect match. So yeah, I've got Charcoal and Chops on Instagram, and then I've got the Visibility Lab that is in motion at the moment. So those are my two babies for now, but I have my hands in a few other things, but that's my primary focus.
Oh my God, this is so cool. And this is wildly different from your career.
Yes, but remember, I did my master, and this is the thing. So it always sounds scary because I had 4 degrees. I have to 4 degrees. I'm like, nope, this is not the future I want. And I
Mm,
keep reiterating, especially for moms, and I know a lot of moms can relate to this. We tend to always plan our family around work. And I'm trying to change that narrative that you can plan work around your family. So you
mm,
prioritize what matters to you first, and every other thing can fall in between. And I'm on a mission to prove everyone wrong. They say you can't have the career of your dreams and be a mom, but I'm like, you can have the career of your dreams and also have the life of your dreams, the family of your dreams. I'm definitely on a mission to prove that that is a thing. And yeah, working out so far. So my background is in public health, biomedical sciences, and then I did research in public health as well. So I
mm.
also did some lecturing in the School of Nursing and Midwifery. So very, very health related health background. But I worked as a researcher predominantly. So clinical trials coordinator, senior research officer, and just collecting data, participant recruitment, a lot of organization, a lot of research that goes into my business for me to be able to source the right ingredients to teach people about the culinary experience. It also goes into obviously the visibility lab where we are actually researching people's niches and trying to put them in that position, and then it goes into my content creation because I have like content that I have to research. So it's like all the skills that I developed along the way are finally,
Yeah.
it's just beneficial now. Now I can see why. It makes sense.
Oh, I think this is so important for people to understand. I think sometimes we think that like making that switch from career to business is a huge leap and wildly scary, which it
Mm. It
is, sure.
is. I was gonna say, were you not scared?
Yeah, it
How did
totally
you
is.
get?
But like so many of the skills that we learn in our corporate careers,
Transferable.
totally transferable. I
Mhm.
mean, like skills that you learn as a mom are transferable into running a business
Yeah.
and vice versa. Skills that you learn in business. Sometimes I love when moms tell me that they use their negotiating skills on their
Oh
kids.
yeah. With the toddlers. They're
Yeah.
the ones. They're the ones that take all of our law degrees that we never got. We have to develop them with those kids. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. And what was that like for you? So we sort of, touched on, yes, it's wildly scary, but what was it actually like from you going from academic career to business? Like, have there been any teething issues along the way?
I think there is a bit of identity loss because you're like, "Oh, what am I? Am I still an academic? Am I still considered an academic? I'm not a lecturer. But I am still a researcher. I still have my title that I earned from, graduating with a PhD. That
Mm,
doesn't change who you are. Who you are is deep within, and that identity is something that you create for yourself. It's not by the job that you're in. And I know I'm speaking to whoever is listening to this thinking, I don't want to lose this job because I don't want to lose the title. The title is who you are, that
mm,
lies within you. It's not tied to a particular job role or opportunity. And I remember saying to myself, oh, how am I going to do this transition? It's going to be so hard. And I was a little bit sad, not a little bit. I was very sad. Let me not, yeah, I was downplaying that a little bit. I was very sad with the whole turnout of events because it felt like I got pushed into a corner where I had to choose between my career and my family, and I will always pick my kids and my family first.
mm,
So it was a no-brainer, but it was still sad because it felt to me like a death of my career. But then I'm trying to
mm.
reiterate that it doesn't have to be. And you can choose how that all plays out. So I had to ask myself the question, which was, why am I being sad over a role that I'm not really happy in? Like, how satisfied am I in that position? Am I researching the topic of my dreams? No. Am I able to spend time with my kids? Sometimes I would miss bedtime and I'd come home and they're already asleep because my husband's put them to bed. And it takes something out of you. Trust me, as a mom, there's no way. I keep saying you cannot have job satisfaction when the home front is missing out on you, when you come home to sleeping children and you feel
Yeah.
like your kids are growing up without you. So as difficult as the transition was, and the questions and the doubts, and am I crazy, what am I doing, it didn't happen overnight. I've been running this for a while, so I know a lot of I've spoken to a lot of people, and the, every and yes, a lot of people do say congratulations. I have the people that are scared, but I have the people that say congratulations, and I love those people. Because I don't need your fear right now. Because I
No,
already know.
we have enough of our own. We don't need
Exactly.
anyone adding on
It's
top.
it's all in there. It's trying to replace a six-figure salary income with business that I was just kind of like, okay, I'll take an order here, I'll do this, kind of taking it as a joke. And now I have to be serious. So
Yes.
I love that there are different people with different stages, but you have to, and I almost feel like for me to then determine what my identity is, this is a very isolating time for me because I don't need the voices of anyone else in my ear apart from the ones that I permit to be in my ear or in my head. So yeah, it's a bit tricky navigating the transition, but it is possible and it's doable. And I know that the long-term benefits are going to be massive. So you might interview me in another year and ask me how
Yes,
I'm going. And then
I
I'll be
will.
telling you all the great things that has happened so far. So you're part of my beginning, my journey.
Oh, I love this so much. And I just really love that you're shining a light on. This is one of the reasons why I love business ownership is because you get to make it up. Like you
Yeah,
get to choose. And I
as you
love that
go.
yeah. And I actually went through this. So I had a business for oh my God, I think it was like 12 years. And I had the same thing like of the identity loss. Even though
Yes.
I was so excited, like Spark is my baby, it's my life's work, it's everything I want to do. But
Mhm.
like stepping out of that other business, I was like, but that's what everyone knows me for. Like that's why people ask me to speak at their events and do all those things. And I'm like, who am I if I don't
How do
have
you
work?
introduce yourself?
Yeah, I know. I did. Oh my God, it's so funny. I wrote down how like so I was like, people I say, what do you do? So I wrote a sentence out that I
I
could
just did
say.
that. I did that a couple of days ago because I was like, who
Yeah.
am I? I can't even say I'm an academic anymore because that's kind of like catfishing. I'm no longer there. Um, I had to write who am I? Like what still remains, what resonates with me, what is my identity? And that is really like you have to search deep within. I'm a prayerful person, so I pray about everything and I'm like, God, please reveal
Yep.
to me from the depths of my heart who I am. And so I can run with that identity and not what the world has put on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Mm,
it's such a beautiful exercise to do as well, because I think it helps bridge that gap between, oh my God, I'm not really sure who I am, but this is who I want to be. And the more
mm,
I say it, the more I'll lean into it and feel like I'm stepping into that new identity.
beautiful. I love that. I love that so much. That is
Oh,
good. That
oh,
is
it's
good.
so good. It's so exciting. And also, and I'm wildly interested because this is such a business owner thing to do. Like, so
Mhm.
you've gone from academic career to now running a business. The businesses are in totally different fields. Yes, the skills are applicable, but one's like social media services and one's catering, like two wildly different business models as well.
You see, that's where the who am I comes in because that's where I'm like, what is this? But even in the catering food business, whatever business you
Mm.
have, you need visibility.
Oh,
So
yeah.
definitely learning to transfer the skills that I'm learning from this business into this business. And
Yes.
even when I run visibility workshops or if I want to run a training session, they're going to need catering. I've got my people.
I love
So
that. Yes. This
I've
is so
thought really
good.
far into the future as to how this is all going to play out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is very different fields, but they one thing that is common between both of them is that I'm very passionate about both fields and I want to see them shine and I know they can shine. And I know that each of them are industries of its own. Like people focus on
Yes.
one and thrive in it, but I know that I can replicate it across board. Then on my own personal brand, it's literally living what I'm just sharing with you, my purpose, turning my
Yes.
purpose into my passion and stepping away from metrics and KPIs and making my purpose my legacy. And so I also have that personal brand that I'm building where as someone that came into Australia as a migrant, this is a very big fear. Like migrants are already
Mm.
disproportionately affected by some of the, you know, some of the blocks and obstacles that they face just by the nature of migration and to
Mm.
have to walk away from a steady income that pays you regularly that you deserve and you've worked hard to get is something that's really scary. So I'm trying to prove to women, mothers, that you can do it. And basically, there's so much more fulfillment in passion and purpose than there is in just a paycheck.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I feel like the theme of today is so like transitional, like that we're allowed to decide that we want to be something different or pursue something different
Mhm.
at any stage in our life. And yes, it's tricky, but you can achieve it, whether it's, when you enter motherhood or whether it's when you're transitioning from corporate to business. There is
Mhm.
that period of kind of, oh my God, who am I? But with a little bit of like self-reflection, it can
Yeah.
definitely be the key to unlocking that higher purpose.
Yeah, yeah. And I think your identity doesn't have to be static. You started off as a graduate, you started off as, a business owner, you started off as whatever it is. But just like
Mhm.
with everything else in life, personal growth is constant. And so
Mm,
you are discovering yourself every year of your life. If you look back to when you were 20, you're definitely not the same person.
yeah.
Heck, I
I'm
know
glad
that.
I'm not
Look,
the same person.
listen, I'm telling you, girl, some of the things that I was doing at 20, I'm not definitely,
Yeah.
no.
Can
So
relate.
no, exactly. So that constant process of growth is inevitable. And
Mm.
so we shouldn't feel tied down. The only regret you're going to have is years later not looking back and knowing that you could have tried, but you didn't.
Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, and it's really interesting. I was thinking, like, as you were speaking, I think part of the challenge is, when we go from like, young to primary school to high school, get our
Mm,
first job. I feel like oftentimes in the like in from our 20s to 30s, we're just falling into the next thing. We're kind of just doing the next thing. But it's now when we get a little bit older that we get a little bit more self-aware and intentional. And it's
mm.
almost like because we realize that we can choose, we're like, oh my God, what do I do?
And that's the thing. I think that's a really good point. The fact that you said we've realized that we can choose. And this is
Mm,
why when I see people on their journey, I see people that are way like, in the trajectory of things and there's no like up or down. It's just what you're doing now. I've done it before. I can see it, I recognize it, and it's not wrong or right. It's your
yes.
pathway to embark on and it's your choice to make. But
Mm,
you do get to a point where you can choose, like you said. And I say that because, for instance, I mean, working in academia as a lecturer is like considered white collar job to an extent. It
yeah.
is. It is. It's not blue collar.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people that, some migrants that I know of that are in blue collar jobs thinking, oh, you're so lucky. You have this prestigious job at this university and this title and things like that. And I'm like, that's what you think until you get there.
Mm.
So you will not know until you get there. And that's why I respect every single person's journey. Like if you're starting off, I've done it. Listen, Danielle, you haven't heard the half of it. I was a makeup artist. I've done hair extensions, installation.
Oh,
I,
cool.
I have everything under my belt. And I see people coming up and doing those things like, why did you stop? You were so good. I was like, until you get there, you won't understand. So you have
Yes.
to do something for a while to see, how do I feel about this? Am I really fulfilled by this? And I remember
Mm,
when I was resigning from my job, I said to my boss, she's amazing, by the way. I have nothing against her. It's just the way the system is designed. She's a
mm.
mom as well, so she could really relate. There were lots of tears. So it wasn't
Oh.
like this vindictive, oh, I get out of here. It's just how the system's made up. And I remember
Mm,
saying to her, no offense. Yeah, I really respect where you are, and you literally are a mentor, and very hardworking, very resilient. But if I can't see myself looking at you where you are now, I want to be there in 10 years, there's a problem. If
mm.
you look at your boss and you're not thinking, oh my gosh, this is where I want to be in 10 years, you're in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
Because I see, and I say this because I see how hard, if you know academia, they're always constantly applying for grants and
Yes.
funding and trying to keep their stuff and things like that. And I'm like, I can't even imagine having to go to bed at night knowing that some of my staff might be fired or might lose a job and not be able to fend for their family. Like I'm that deep. I'm that person that thinks
Mm.
beyond, oh, you're just my staff for now and the money's gone. Bye bye. Like
Yeah.
I if my staff comes to me with an issue, I take it personal. It's a big thing. And so I was like, I can't even imagine being in your place. And I've thought about it. Is this who I want to be in 10 years? No. So why am I
Mm.
here? When the person above me that I should aspire to be, I don't aspire to be. Why am I here?
Yes. And it's such a good process to go through, I think, in any stage of life. Like, look ahead, like, what path are you actually on?
Where
And
are you
if you,
going?
yeah, and if you continue that path, is that where you want to end up? Or if you wanted to end up over here, maybe you need to change your path.
But the fear is real.
Oh, yeah.
The fear is real. I mean, even just, like I said, I'm in this period of isolation trying to figure myself out. But even just sometimes in my head, it gets in my head, and I'm like, in this economy, was this really the smart move? Like, do you realize how much mortgage is? I have an amazing, supportive husband. He's just amazing. He's just like, do what you need to do. I'll pick up where I need to pick up. Not everybody has that. And you
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
realistic with that. And like I said, I didn't just wake up and drop my job. I had a business that's been running. I know it's scalable. I have a passion. I have a personal brand that I've been building. I have things in line and I have
Mm.
confirmation that this is what I'm meant to be doing. But the fear is still there, even with all of this support system.
Yeah.
So if women out there don't have that support system, we need to be the support system for each other. We
Yes.
need
Oh
to
my
hold each
God.
other's hands and walk with, whoever is in a place where we once were. If someone is listening and they're like, oh my gosh, I resonate with you. How were you able to do this? Definitely love to have a conversation. Like, it's just, we have to be each other's village.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm always surprised, one, I shouldn't be surprised, but how supportive women are. Like, women get it and want each other to succeed, like you can ask someone, and it's crazy. You don't even have to like actually talk to somebody, like with the amount of podcasts and social media and,
Yes.
people showing up just spilling their guts on the internet.
I
Like the
know.
blueprint's there, like tap into that. But you're so
Yeah.
right. Like, if there's someone who you aspire to be, I guarantee you they will have a conversation with you.
Yeah. Well, if they're like 2 million followers, they might not get your
Yeah,
message, but
maybe start,
but
next
something like,
level above you, ratchet
exactly.
up.
Don't aspire. I mean, yeah. Just be very realistic.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my God, I love it so much. But it's so true. Like women especially are just so amazingly supportive. I mean, I see that every day in the Spark community, but you
Yeah.
look anywhere and yeah, I'm always just amazed at how you can just reach out to somebody these days and they'll,
I
maybe
know.
maybe they won't have a coffee with you, but maybe they'll answer a question or two.
Some things. Yeah.
But you've just got to like, if you don't ask, you won't get.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I learned that from someone. I was at a cafe once and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this cafe. I love the way they take their orders and the systems. And it's just like, just ask. I was like, huh? Their best kept secret. She was like, what makes you think it's a secret? I was like, but you shouldn't just ask people for their like private information that they work so hard for. She was like, the only answer you're going to get is a no or a yes. It's 50-50.
Mhm.
Just ask. And this guy sat with me and ran through the whole thing. And I was like, it worked. Just ask.
Wow.
Ask
Yes.
and you shall receive.
Oh my God, you are amazing. This is so good. I could literally talk to you all day. However,
However,
yes, I always love to wrap up these podcasts with one last piece of advice. So, reflecting on your multiple businesses,
mhm,
what would be a piece of advice that you would give to another woman on her business journey?
ask for help. A lot of times we are living in this culture where it's like, I don't want to be a bother.
Mm,
But I've learned that people are more willing to help than you think. Ask for help because it can save you months and months of figuring it out by yourself.
mhm.
Ask for help because it can save you thousands of dollars spending money where it's not needed. Ask for help because it allows you to learn from people's experiences and not yours. But in saying that, value people's time. I'm one of those people, I do content creation, and sometimes I reach out to people that I'd love to collaborate with. And a lot of the times you'd be surprised, people are like, yeah, sure, we can do a collaboration. And I'm like, so, I mean, how much? And they're like, oh, no, 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 it's free. I'm like, yeah, but your time though. I am someone that really values someone's time. So if you're not gonna take money from me, I'll send you flowers. I'll send you something.
Aw.
Appreciate the fact that people are willing to help you. Don't feel entitled, but ask for help. Definitely.
Oh, Dr. Joey, you are incredible.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's so
Oh,
amazing.
and we are absolutely circling back in a year. I want to hear all
Listen,
of the good news.
yes, yes. I can't wait to share. I can't wait. It's definitely gonna happen.
Oh my God, you are incredible. Thank you so much again for sharing your time and wisdom with the Spark community.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Danielle. I really appreciate it.
That wraps another episode of Spark TV. Shout out to Spark TV sponsor IP Australia for their amazing support of the Spark podcast and women in business. And if no one tells you today, you've got this.